Prakash, can you keep your mic and cam in the mute mode? So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, on behalf of ELTAI, I welcome all of you for this webinar on techniques to develop neutral accent. So, before we move on to the presentation, I would like you to watch a prom clip on ELTAI. So thank you very much for watching the Chrome clip of ELTAI. So before we move on to the speaker, I have a few points for the audience to remember. We have a chat option here for us to chat things that are relevant to the topic of today's presentation. I see some people, some people try to put your email ID, phone numbers, and all things. Please, I don't think that is required here. The chat, if there's anything to be discussed in terms of the topic, you're welcome. You're welcome to ask your questions. In the end of the presentation, you will have time for asking questions. So you can write your questions. Your questions will be answered by the resource person. So now with this, I hand over the session to the moderator. Over to you, sir. So due to some technical issues, the moderator has left the session. So I request the speaker to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ELTAI. Thank you, all the participants, for attending this session. Let's start. Let's imagine that a British guy has visited India and he wishes to learn Hindi. And he started learning, he got successful after achieving fluency, a little fluency over a period of time. How would he speak Hindi? Does it sound like he has mother tongue influence on his Hindi? Does it sound like English, or does it sound like Hindi? Let's see that. Sir, can I share my presentation, please?
Yes, sir, you can share, sir. Sir, you'll have to share your application window. Yeah.
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone.
Prakash, the session has already started.
Okay.
Yeah. The speaker has started presenting.
Thank you.
Dr. Pravin?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Praveen, is my slide share visible?
Yes, sir. If possible, can you put in the full screen mode, or if you're comfortable this way, go on, sir, no problem.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, Prakash, sir, can we close our mic and cam, please?
All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you all for attending this session. We were just talking about what if a British guy learns Hindi and starts to speak Hindi. How would he speak these two sentences? Ram Singh, there was a whole day, and Ram Singh, there was a Band Karo. My Hindi itself will be influenced by my mother tongue, which is Telugu. So Ram Singh, there was a whole day. Ram Singh, there was a Band Karo. So let's imagine that the British guy has learned these sentences or learned Hindi and achieved some fluency, and probably this is how he would sound. Ram Singh, that was a cold day. Ram Singh, there was a brown crow. So these two sentences probably might sound like that because of the two English sentences here. Ram Singh, there was a cold day. Ram Singh, there was a brown crow. So now, if we look at the Hindi sentences here, Ram Singh, there was a cold day. Ram Singh, there was a band karo would sound like Ram Singh, there was a cold day. Ram Singh, there was a brown crow. Ram Singh, there was a brown crow. Right. So probably it would sound like that. I was once traveling and in a flight behind me there were a couple of guys from some Asian country I couldn't figure out. And then I was being an English teacher myself. I was trying to eavesdrop since their English caught my attention, and I started eavesdropping, and I heard them speaking sentences like this. After you get down the flight, where are you going? Are you going to meet your friend, or are you going to straight to the hotel? Now, I'm sure most of us might understand these accents. These guys were saying, after you get down the flight, would you go to meet your friend, or would you go straight to the hotel? And I visited a friend of mine in some state in India, and he welcomed me. He said, "Oh, welcome, Mr. Kiran. Welcome, please come in and sit down." I was a bit zapped. However, I sat down. I sat down, and then he said, "Oh, no, Mr. Kiran, don't sit in the chair. Sit comfortably in the sofa." And then I sat comfortably in the sofa. After that, he came with a box of sweets and asked me to test them. I was wondering, why should I test them? He said, have a test of these sweets. And a little later, I realized that he's asking me to taste them. Now, friends, this is probably what is called accent, if it is to be called as accent. And the dictionary gives different definitions. Now, in this session, I would like to discuss with you and share with you my experiences of different accents spoken by people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and how we should, are there any ways to neutralize? Is it really necessary for us to neutralize our accents? And if it is necessary, how could we go about that? And how is it going to help teachers, students, and individuals? Is it really necessary at all? We shall see all that in a little while. Meanwhile, I would like to invite one of my student speakers. Thanks to all of them. I would like to invite one of my student speakers, Harshit, to give me his points on this. Harshit, over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Harshit Reddy. Pursuing my bachelorate in Electronic and Communication Engineering from Xavier College of Engineering in Hyderabad. I'm currently stationed in Hyderabad, and I would like to thank all of you for showing interest in this webinar and attending. As sir rightly said, we come across various accents of people in our daily life, and there's a need for us to utilize our accent and extend our reach to all people across the globe, as we are now in the race of development, and we are coming across all these types of nations where we do trade with the all foreign nations and get involved with them. So having a neutral accent with us would certainly help us and have a better interaction with everyone. Even I have come across few of these mother tongue influence in my daily life. Even I have mother tongue influence myself, and I would like to ask sir to correct me if I'm wrong. I have few words with me. I generally, as I'm an engineering student, I would like to ask the pronunciation of chemistry. CHEMISTRY. I would pronounce it as chemistry, but I don't know about the foreign accents. So could you correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, it's not chemistry. There's a sir and sure problem in many parts of the country. Many speakers, non-native speakers of English, have that sir and sure problem. Yes.
Sir, the other word which I mainly mispronounce is I can't find a difference between there and there. THEIR and THERE. I have faced many issues, talking in English with these words. So I would like you to correct me and give the correct pronunciation.
They have the same pronunciation, Harshit. There. So some people tend to pronounce them as there and their, there and there. Both of them have the same pronunciation. To that effect, all of us, I'm very sure all of us know, we have sound files in the dictionaries these days online. We can just listen to the sound file of the word and get the pronunciation. Yeah, right. Good. Harshit, yeah. Do you have any questions, Harshit? Further.
Yeah, the main question is what if I fail to learn neutral accent? How could I face this society?
Yes. I shall again listen to this question of yours, or rather answer this question at the end of the presentation. By then, if it is not answered. Okay. So we are going to look at some of these tips and techniques, especially designed for students to neutralize some practical tips and techniques so that they can face interviews with a little more confidence and get selected in the interviews. Yes, Harsha. Any other questions, Harsha?
No, sir. I'm just looking forward to learn new things in this webinar.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me get straight into the action. All right. So do we really need to neutralize? Yeah, maybe we don't really need. But yes, if some of us are interested in neutralizing our accents, let us see how we can do that. Now, before we try to neutralize, the most important point is to understand that when we take two languages, language A and B, let's say in this case I've chosen Hindi to compare with English. Now let's compare the sound system of English language with Hindi. To understand that there are some sounds which are present in Hindi, not present in English, and some sounds which are present in English, not present in Hindi, let's take a look at this example. If we try and attempt to write the word apple in the script of Hindi, do we really get to write it? Do we end up writing apple as you see on the screen, or do we end up getting apple? I have tried to translate this into my mother tongue, which is Telugu. I end up writing yapi or api. I hope you can see the words on the screen. And of course, there is a lot of agreements and disagreements on the sound systems within the language itself. Among Hindi speakers of India, where I'm a citizen from, thank you at this point in time for all the participants attending from different countries of the world. What I'm trying to do here is to know how to identify sounds present in my mother tongue and not present in English, and present in English and not present in my mother tongue. To do that, we can, for each sound, probably try and take a few words and translate into the script of our mother tongue. That's how we would know that this particular sound doesn't exist. So any language, any person whose mother tongue is not English and his mother tongue is any other language of the world can try and find out the differences between the sound systems existing in comparison with both the languages with the help of that particular language teacher. For example, if you're a Russian speaker of English, sit with a Russian teacher and try and find out the differences there. Okay, now before we go further, I would like to quickly give you the sounds that exist in English language first. There are about 44 sounds. At school, we have learned, we are told that there are 26 letters, and then we somehow feel that there are only 26 sounds there. Unfortunately, the English language has two systems, the letter system and the sound system, or the phonetic system. So the phonetic system has 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds. I shall give you in the natural order here. the English phonetic sounds first. E, E, A, O, O, U, O. Let me repeat, 1 to 12. These are called the pure vowels in English. Number 1 is E, E, A, O, U, O. Then we have the diphthongs. Diphthongs are a combination of two sounds like A, I, O, O, ear, L, and U. Let me repeat. 13 till 20. A, I, O, ear, L, and U. Let me address the vowel sounds first. In this presentation, what I would like to do is to give you the differences between English and Hindi, or most of the Indian languages are similar. So if you look at some of these symbols here, I have marked 4, 7, and 8 in red and 5 and 11 in green. The ones that are in red are, I feel, are not present in Indian languages. These sounds are present in English, but not present in Indian languages. I have come across many English teachers. Some of them agree, disagree, and within Hindi, I have come across a lot of variations. People pronounce the word Vaishali as, some parts of the country pronounce Vaishali, the name Vaishali, and Aishwarya as Vaishali, Aishwarya, Vaibhav as Vaibhav, and Vaibhav. So, and then there are arguments, there are differences in sound systems. Some people call them minimal pairs, some people call them phonemes. Now, for the benefit of all of us here and for the benefit of students, I would not like to get into the terminology and then give you the RP, or the received pronunciation of the of English, or the British pronunciation, or the American pronunciation of English. I myself am not very sure about my pronunciation of certain words. So here I am trying to give you number one, and the first sound of the first vowel sound of English, that is the E sound, is present in Indian languages. That is the E sound. The Hindi symbol is also given here. So those of you who wish to know the difference between English and your mother tongue, try and relate the E sound as I'm pronouncing with your mother tongue. For example, if you're a Tamil speaker or a Malayalam speaker or a Bengali or a Telugu speaker or a Chinese speaker, try and relate the first sound E to your mother tongue if it is there, E sound. Then number two is the E sound. That's the short E, like in slit, mink, and spin, E. Then number three is the A sound. 1, 2, 3 are present in Indian languages. Number 4 is my favorite A sound. This is apple, app. We have mobile apps, app. Now, if you try to write the word app, or you try to write the word dad in your mother tongue script, Indian speakers would end up writing daddy or daddy or hat. So we need to be aware of this particular sound. This will help us to neutralize those words which begin with the A sound. Then the next sound is the sound. This is present in English, in Indian languages. However, this the sound that is there in English is very strong. This is whereas in Hindi is a smooth or a full This is very strong, like sun, cup, lump. The next one is present in Indian languages. Sound. Number 7 is my favorite. Sound. This is from the lower jaw. I heard many people in India speaking hot, So probably this sound, the word cock, C-O-C-K, cock, is given. The name is given to the cock because of the sound it makes. Cock, 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 cock sound. Similarly, the A sound, if we can imitate a goat, meh, that kind of a sound, we'll be able to produce. Now, at this point in time, I would like to tell you, it's not really compulsory to put on, to get an accent or improve one's accent. or neutralize one's accent or develop one's accent. But yes, if we are English teachers, if we are students looking for jobs, it would be probably necessary to neutralize accents as much as possible. It may not be completely possible, as I was talking like the British guy at the beginning. It may not be possible even if I live in UK or USA for 50 years, if I have spoken my mother tongue from age 1 till 10. So that reminds me of an interesting concept called a put-on accent. Now, I have also come across people with a put-on accent. Put-on accent is something like, Indian roads are so bad these days. When I come here, I see I was in US for a long time, but now when I see the Indian roads, it's all dust and dirt here. So bad the roads are. Probably that is called a put-on accent. Okay, so number 7 is the O sound, which is produced from the lower jaw. Most of the sounds in Indian languages, especially, are produced from the center of the mouth and upwards the tongue or the buccal cavity. English has certain sounds which are produced from the lower jaw. So when I say lower jaw, I'm not saying lower jaw, lower jaw. College, a lot of people pronounce the word college. College, it's college. College is a neutral pronunciation for the word college. Then let's go to the next sound, 8. I'm going a little fast to keep time. You may put your questions in the chat box. You can put your disagreements and questions and arguments, anything there in the chat box, absolutely no problem. Box, chat box, no, chat box. That's the right pronunciation. So number 8 is the O sound. The symbol under the Hindi symbol, I put a lower jaw symbol there to signify that it is O sound. O. Number 8 is O. That's not present in Indian languages. U is fine. U is also fine. There are little differences in sounds again. For example, the Indian U is from the front part of the mouth, like book, cook, look, shuk. But the neutral U would be slightly from the back of the mouth, like book, cook, look, took, shook. Little difference. I hope you could perceive that. Look, book, good, look, book, good. So one of the tips I would like to give, if anybody wishes to neutralize the accent, probably one should speak from the back of the mouth. So if you observe a British man speaking English, most of them would be trying to speak from the back of the mouth. So most of the sounds emanate from there. Probably that's how they sound neutral. Okay, then number 10 is the oo sound, the prolonged oo sound present in Indian languages. 11 is not present in Indian languages. Of course, there is a combination there. Sound. This is again very heavy sound, strong sound. Urge, curse, and nurse. Then number 12 is the sound, which is present in Indian languages. But the finer difference there is that the in English is a very mild. There is a very strong like hut, and there's a very mild like about, amount, which is sound number 12. These are the Daniel Jones's pronunciation symbols here. And another interesting one for me is number 13, A sound. The A sound doesn't exist in many of the Indian languages. In Indian languages, we have e, a, and a. There is a prolonged a sound. So therefore, many of the Indians say day, rain, pain, rain, pain, date, slate, rate, gate, instead of saying date, rate, plate, slate. Some of the symbols, it's straight away possible for us to remember, especially for students, to remember when they are speaking English. Wherever they use the sound A from their mother tongue, that could be one shot, quickly, easily be replaced by the A sound. So just now when I said replaced, I didn't say replace. I didn't say, I said, say. So don't say, okay. It's not okay, it's okay. We'll come to the O sound also. So just now I said also. So it's possible with little of conscious practice to develop a neutral accent. That's my tip number 2. Tip number 1, identify the sounds existing in English and in your language the differences, and try to know the sound differences and apply those sound differences into words. That is tip number one. Tip number two, little bit conscious practice of these sounds. Initially we may sound funny, we may sound put on, but over a period of time we should be fine. Then I sound present in English language like Aishwarya. Then oi. This is another interesting sound, not present in Indian languages, present in English, oi. It is not ail, tail, sail, kail, but it is oil, soil, toy, coil, toy, boy, toy, enjoy, enjoy. I hope you're enjoying the session. And number 16 is O. Again, in Indian languages, we don't have the O sound. The diphthongs, most of them have an upper glide. So though I've written the Hindi O and U there, the tongue glides from one position to the other by taking an upper glide, O sound. So it is not go, no, blow. It is go, no, blow, so, although. That's how these sounds are pronounced. And though I might be dramatizing or pronouncing in an overt manner, but probably when I speak with people and friends, I may not really be doing that. And in the chat box, you could probably type and say how my accent sounds, how horrible or terrible is it? It is. And do I sound British or do I sound American? Is my accent American or British or Indian? How is it? How does it sound? You tell me, no? Put in the chat box, no? I love the Indian no at the end of the sentences. It's not only the accents that are important, the sentence structures also are important many a time, because the accent gets affected by that kind of sentence structures. So a lot of people speak, "Arey, what you're doing, re? Tomorrow coming, you're going, Kiran sir, you're going." Sometimes people ask me, I tell them, yeah, I'm going, All right. So it's not only the individual words, but also the sentence constructions that make a huge impact on the way we speak and the way we interact, and the impression it makes in the minds of speakers. All right. So friends, I request you to, students, teachers, and friends, let me know how my accent is, how am I speaking. I can take negative feedback, absolutely no problem. I have nothing left to lose in life, so negative feedback is absolutely fine. The next sound is the ow sound, which is present in Indian languages, and then number 18 is ear. This is not present. The sounds that are marked in red are not present. Ear, it's here, dear, gear. It's not here, dear, gear, but it is here, dear, gear, ear sound. It's a combination of e plus a. Then number 19 is a combination of a plus a. It is not there. There, like my friend Harshit asked me, is it there or, it's not there. It is there. Here, share. And this is another word, share. I come across very often when I interact with different people in different states of the country. People say, sir, please, share the document, sir. Yesterday, I'm busy, sir. You please, sir. So that I can quickly check and I can tell you the mistakes, sir. If there are any mistakes, sir, I will tell you, sir. Please, sir, the document. So some people say, sir. Some people say, where are you going? Where are you going? So this air sound will help us neutralize that pronunciation. Then number 20 is another interesting sound, the ua sound. So we have poor, tua, sure, puru, turu, shuru. Sure. Pure gold, sir. This is pure gold, madam. Pure gold, madam. You buy, madam. So now imagine a shopkeeper saying to a lovely lady trying to buy a wonderful necklace. And necklace, it's not necklace. Necklace. I love my country and my pronunciation. So the shopkeeper saying, madam, this is pure gold. It doesn't make much of an impact. Pure gold makes impact. And therefore, I love my country and my pronunciation. Right, so let me give you a quick revision of the vowel sounds in English. Number 1, E. 2 is E. 3, A. And A. O. U. O. A. I. O. Ear. Air, and poor. All those that are marked here in red are, I perceive them as not present in Indian languages. A friend of mine who's a Bengali speaker, he says that the a sound is present in Bengali, and he gave me a word saying akla chalo. There is a song in Bengali which says akla chalo re. So he argues with, I mean, he convinced me that the a sound there in the word, the Bengali word akla chalo, is the a sound. All right, and now let's look at the consonant sounds quickly. Luckily, we are good with the consonant sounds. Many of the English consonants and Indian consonants match, except a few. There are 24 consonant sounds in English language. P, B, T, D, K, G, Ch, J, F, V, T, H, S. In fact, number 13 is S, Z, Sh, J, H, M, N, N, L, R, Y, and W. Let me repeat. P, B, T, D, K, G, Ch, J, F, V, T, Z, S, Z, Sh, J, H, M, N, N, L, R, Y, and W. At this point in time, I would like to invite my another student friend speaker, Rashmita, to interact with us, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is Rashmita, doing BTech in CVR College of Engineering. Sir, I'm interested to neutralize my accents. Are there any shortcuts like to neutralize it so that I could be like talking to everyone, not only in India, like whole worldwide?
Before I answer this question, please tell me: does my accent sound neutral? What do you feel?
No.
You can be honest. Absolutely no problem. I don't mind.
I think so. No.
Okay. Do I still not sound Indian?
You sound somewhat Indian, come British.
It is good or bad?
It's good.
Good only.
It's good in
Not
India,
bad,
but it's good in India. But what we go some foreign country and we try to interact with people there.
How soon are you visiting a foreign country?
Maybe in few years.
That's nice. That's fine. So, do you think if I visit England, or if I go to USA or Australia or South Africa, New Zealand, do you think the locals there would understand my accent?
Yeah. Somewhat. It depends.
Do you think if I visit any English-speaking country, do you think they'll understand my accent?
No idea.
No
Actually,
idea?
I don't know how they do actually.
All right, good, fine. Trust me, most of the Asians, especially Indians, are easily understood by anybody in the world. You don't. Your English is already fine. I mean, I feel there is absolutely no problem with any. I mean, there were no mispronunciation in any of the words that you spoke so far. You would be easily be understood. However, I mean, following these tips, I hope you are listening to my the sounds that I gave you there. And you know, the quick tip for you there is the same which I was sharing all this while. To identify the sounds present in, is your mother tongue Telugu, Rashmita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So identify the sounds present in Telugu, not present in English. Okay, present in English, not present in Telugu. Have a study of the differences of how they are pronounced, and you'd be fine. How they are pronounced. See, just now I said pronounced, and then I said pronounced. Okay,
Yeah.
pronunciation. There's a lot of confusion. It's okay. People will still understand. Absolutely no problem. Okay. I hope I've answered your. Yes.
Sir. Other problem is if I should try to understand their neutral like accent too. If I can't understand.
Yes, that could be a challenge sometimes. But it would take a little while for us to get. See, there are a lot of people traveling to different English-speaking countries working there. Many Indians, especially from software and engineering students. Most of them aspire to visit. I mean, work in USA. They understand. They initially they may face some problems, but over a period of time, some of them could be unfortunate. They may take a little longer time than others, but trust me, it will sometimes take only minimum 10-20 minutes to maximum of 2 weeks to understand the different accents spoken by at least those people whom you're interacting with in your workplace or in your neighborhood. Okay, you might come across a person who has a much stronger or thicker accent, then you may have a problem, but otherwise it should be fine. Yeah. Any other question?
No, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Now let's see if the differences in the consonant sounds between English and Hindi. There are not many differences. Pa exists in Indian languages. B also exists. T exists. However, the English T is slightly different from the Indian T. The Indian T is from the center of the mouth, from the roof of the mouth. The tongue, the tip of the tongue touches the center of the mouth, like teacher, ta, teacup, teacup, tea. The English T is slightly different. It is from the front part of the mouth. In fact, the tip of the tongue touches the front part of the teeth, or it's placed just behind the teeth before it's released. So it's not teacup, it is tea. Teacher, no, teacher. It's from that. We don't have to be that fine. It's not really important for non-native speakers of English to neutralize to the finer differences of languages. Teacup is still fine. I feel it's not tomato, is the right pronunciation. And the D also similar. It is not den, devil, it's gen, devil. So in fact, even my pronunciation sometimes I feel doesn't sound that neutral. Though I have been practicing it for more than 30 years now. Then K is fine, kite. Some Indians, native speakers of English try to aspirate the K, initial K. For example, they say kite for kite, and, which is actually correct. So that's called aspiration. Aspiration is adding a H sound. In fact, the P also is aspirated, the first sound, the first consonant sound. P. It's not pen, they say pen. Paper, not paper. Paper, pen. Picture, Peter. We say paper, pen, picture, Peter. All right, paper, pen, picture, Peter. That's called aspiration. Adding a H there is called aspiration. Then, so for K also, the first sound, the initial K sound is aspirated. And so like kite, cricket, also even between a K and a R, it's possible to aspirate it. Kill, kill, we say kill, kill. G, present in Indian languages. Ch is present. J is also present in Indian languages. F is present. V is present. Th, again, here we have a slight difference. The Indian th is full and strong. The English th is little mild and weak. It's not thank you, it is thank you. Still, thank you is nothing, absolutely no problem with that. The also, it's not therefore, it is therefore. The English the is a little milder, on the milder side. Then 13 is present. Z is also present. However, though it's present, we need to add a matra there or a diacritic to get that Z sound. Otherwise, many people tend to say J, zero, zebra, zoo park for zoo park, zebra, and zero. Jeel, lot of jeel. That girl has lot of jeel in studies. zeal. And we have the next sound is sh, like shiver, shivering, shake hands, sh sound. Now, I have come across there's a lot of problems with the pronunciation of sir and sh among many speakers of English. Some people say English communication lessons, and pronunciation. That was a wonderful session. So we have the sir sh interchange problem. Some speakers, Indian speakers, and then the j sound. This is produced with round lips. This is definitely not present in most of the Indian languages. Measure, pleasure, treasure. The j sound. H is present. M is present. N is present. N is also present. Like satsang. There's a sound. English, bring, sing, sang, song. All of them end with the sound. Then we have the l sound, love, l. R is present here, is also present in Indian languages. Well, this is another very interesting and my favorite consonant. In English, there is a flat v and then there is a round v. So one tip, again, one of the tips, shortcuts, tips for us is that any word in English that we come across, which has the letter W, most Indians pronounce the letter W as W. It's not like bablu, W. No, it's double U. It's two words, double U. So any word that we come across in English which has the letter W, we have to pronounce that with round lips. So it's not what, where, why, which, what, where, why, which, when. What, where, why, which, I love that. But the right pronunciation is what, where, why, which. Award, award, award. Water. I want a glass of water. Not water, it is water. All right. Now, at this point in time, I would like to invite another friend, speaker, student of mine, Jigyasa. Would you like to interact with us?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jigyasa, and I'm pursuing BTech in Instrumentation Engineering from the College of CVR Engineering. Now, sir, when it comes to the world, there is this American accent, we have British accent, then we have Australian accent. But when it comes to India, the branches are even more dense. For example, I have this word, available. I am a native of Odisha, so people there have a different pronunciation when it comes to B and W. Can you explain more on this?
Yes, that is because of the mother tongue influence. I mean, in some of the Indian languages, we have the problem. In fact, I was talking about one of my friends when I visited. He told me, welcome, welcome, Mr. Kiran. So welcome, he said, welcome. So this available comes from the verb interchange, the sound system interchange. This has got to do with the mother tongue script and the sound system. So there is a town called, in South India, there is a city called Vijayawada. Some people pronounce it as Vijayawada. Similarly, Vijay, the name Vijay is pronounced as Bijoy. Ravindranath Tagore is what I would say. But I have heard people saying Robindranath Tagore. So these kind of verb interchange, sh interchange sound is there in many of the non-native speakers of English. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Another question.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Is I want to know if I sit in an interview, will my pronunciation make a major role in decision making?
If it makes, that would be unfortunate. I have been on the panel of conducting interviews for several organizations, I being a freelance trainer. And so what happens is, I remember a particular incident where one of the questions to the candidate was, how much time will it take for you to, it was a software company. And the question to the candidate was, how much time do you think it would take for you to learn new terminology, technologies, sorry, new technologies? How quickly can you upgrade and learn, SAP 1. I'm an English teacher. I don't know those terms. SAP, GAP, RAP, TAP, whatever. All right. So this guy said, yes, sir, I can. Young, enthusiastic students, guys. And he says, he said, sir, I can learn any technology quickly. But technology, he said technology. Now, that made a silent impact on the selection panel because there are so many candidates available. They want to pick available. There are so many candidates available. So we want to pick the best candidate. So he's silently not selected, I would say. Not because he said technology, but it doesn't leave any, it probably has left a bad impression, a silently bad impression. Don't know. I wasn't the decision maker, though. I was there just to tell the other panel members about their confidence levels and how quick, how good they are in terms of their communication. And in this case, the other two guys didn't ask me, shall we choose him or not? So I had to keep quiet. So the answer is yes, it would make, if that particular company where you have applied to, if they have clients offshore in other countries where for the role that particular candidate is applying for the job, and if he or she has to interact with mother tongue English speakers, they may look for a person who has a neutral accent. But otherwise, it shouldn't matter. Absolutely not a problem. See, I am sitting relaxed. I'm not bothered about how my pronunciation is, what others would think about my pronunciation. I'm just speaking what I want to speak. That is how we are. That is how we are Indians. See, yesterday I simply went to the hospital in a wood. Some problem I had, and I simply went to the hospital in a wood. Could you tell me what the sentence is? The last sentence. I went to the hospital in a wood. I went to the hospital in an auto.
I went to the hospital in an auto.
So this is one type of pronunciation. It's an Indian pronunciation, though I would not like to mention which influence that is. Yeah. Good. Any other questions, Jigyasa?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. And
thank you, sir.
Now, I would like to invite my friend Harshit. Harshit, could you read this paragraph that you see here on the screen? Could you read it aloud?
Yes, sir. The first traffic light was installed in 1868 outside Britain's House of Parliament. It was a pair of alternating red and green gas lamps. It was used to keep the large number of horse-drawn carriages in the area from crashing one into another. It was a revolving lantern and was illuminated by gas. The lantern was turned by means of a lever at its base so that the appropriate light faced traffic. It was a great help to the police officers, but on 2nd January 1869, the traffic light exploded, injuring the operator. This accident discouraged further experiments in traffic control for some time. However, research continued, and today we have the most advanced traffic control systems.
Good. Thank you, Harshit. Harshit, how do you think the word THE is pronounced?
The.
Is it the or the?
Depends, sir. We use the when we are pronouncing it with the vowel, yes. And the where we pronounce it with the consonant.
Yes, good. The and the vowel sounds and the consonant sounds. Now I shall read this paragraph quickly for you, see if I can, while I'm reading, try and figure out how many THEs are there in both these paragraphs, and see if I'm able to follow the and the there. Okay, let me start. The first traffic light was installed in 1868 outside Britain's Houses of Parliament. It was a pair of alternating red and green gas lamps. It was used to keep the large number of horse-drawn carriages in the area from crashing one into another. It was a revolving lantern and was illuminated by gas. The lantern was turned by means of a lever at its base so that the appropriate light faced traffic. It was a great help to the police officers, but on 2nd January 1869, the traffic light exploded, injuring the operator. This accident discouraged further experiments in traffic control for some time. However, research continued, and today we have the most advanced traffic control systems. Harshit, did I sound British? Did I sound heavy British or American? Or how was it? Was it neutral?
Sir, it sounded more American, sir.
I love the way you said, sir. Okay. I sounded more, sorry?
American, sir.
I sounded more American? Good, man. Yeah. Probably if it is American, it would be something like, it was a great help to the police officers. But on 2nd January 1869, the traffic light exploded, injuring the operator. I don't know. I'm not able to really mimic them or demonstrate an American accent here. I probably would rate myself there as about 60 to 70% neutral. Yeah. Did I follow the and the D correctly?
Yes.
Were you able to feel that while I was reading?
Yes, sir.
The word carriages reminds me, carriage, that is. Many speakers in India pronounce the word students, especially, they say career. Or how would you pronounce the word C-A-R-E-E-R, Harshit?
Career.
C-A-R-E-E-R.
Career, sir.
Jigyasa, could you tell me? Harshit, Jigyasa, Harshit, Rashmita, anybody? How would you pronounce the word C-A-R-E-E-R?
Career.
Any one of you, please. How would you?
Kiran, sir?
Yes.
We have 5 minutes to go to close the webinar.
Sure.
We have questions.
Yes, I'm closing it. So career, there's a mispronunciation, career for career and carrier. Career and carrier, something like cut and cat. Cut is equal to career. That's how you can remember, shortcut for you, Harshit, there. And cat as carrier, all right? So thank you very much, all participants here, for giving your time. And yes, we are now ready for the questions. Dr. Prakash. Your audio is
Prakash, you have to unmute.
Yes. Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are, sir. Go on.
Yes. It was a wonderful presentation, Kiran, sir. Due to technical glitches, we were not able to give your introduction. It is a small introduction of the speaker today. Kiran Chandar is a freelance trainer with 25 years of training experience. He is a consultant to various academic institutions and corporates. And his professional certifications are like this: Aviation English Trainer and Examiner certified by Director General of Civil Aviation, and also IELTS Trainer certified by the British Council and International Development Program Australia, and also Business English Certificate Examiner certified by British Council. And he runs a training consultancy firm in Hyderabad by name Confidemi. So, and he is giving his services to some of his clients like Shaw Software, Dr. Reddy's, and DRS International School. Kiran sir, totally it was a very interactive session and a wonderful session to be in. And we have some questions. First question from Dr. Ramani. It appears from your examples and the descriptions of how the English sounds are actually produced that neutralization of accent amounts to making the sounds just as native speakers do. In this sense, is it really possible for our students to neutralize their accent?
I have to join again.
Have you got the question, sir?
Yes, it is definitely possible to a great extent, 90% and above, provided these sounds are introduced at the school level.
Okay.
Before the age of 10, between grade 1 and grade, maybe even in nursery, probably they could. I have done this exercise myself in several schools when I am invited as a guest lecturer. Yeah, guest trainer.
Okay. We have some more questions, sir. One question from Rashmi Grover. We have different accents, British, American, and which is reliable, sir?
As long as people understand what we speak, as long as we are intelligible, no matter how much influence of the mother tongue is there on English. Now, this is how I usually speak wherever I go. This is my accent, which is still heavily influenced by my mother tongue. I speak Hindi, mother tongue is Telugu, and I speak Hindi, which are, equally fluently. And my accents are heavily influenced. My English accent is heavily influenced. It depends on the day, the mood, and all that. I speak like this. So as long as we are understood by the other person, any accent in the world is a good accent. Yeah.
Okay, sir. There are many questions. Due to time, we cannot take up all the questions. Hope audience would understand this is a time limit. It is a time for me to give cause vote of thanks. Firstly, the speaker, Mr. Kiran Chandar, he gave wonderful introduction towards techniques to neutral, develop neutral accent with his 3 student speakers. We thank you from our ELTAI for giving us a wonderful session, sir. And also, I would like to thank all the student speakers, Mr. Harshit Reddy, Ms. Rashmita Madhvi, Ms. Jignasa Singh, and also very much support from the technical team, that is Dr. Praveen Sam, who gave us technical support in this webinar. And we should not forget our National Executive Webinar Committee, and their always continuous support. I would like to thank Professor Ramani and Professor Ilango, Professor Mohan Raj, and Dr. Shravan Kumar, and also Dr. Javier Pradeep Singh for their continuous support and guidance to conduct this webinar successfully. Hope we are at the end. Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar. Over to Praveen.
Thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you so much for that. Of course, there were some technical issues. Otherwise, the session went on very well. I once again thank the speaker for that informative session. Thank you, sir. So for the audience, then presentation, the webinar for the next week is titled Adaptations of Literary Classics Across Genres. The speaker will be Dr. Deepa Prasad from University College Trivandrum. So I again welcome you all for the next webinar as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.